Excellent. And just going to check here on our Facebook page and make sure that it is showing up. Perfect. I see it just fine. For those of you that hop on and can hear us and see us, give us that thumbs up. Let us know what you're excited for this content and for us to get this started so we can go. Okay. Shows this live. Yes, it is live.
There we are.
There we are. Yeah. So I'm just sharing in a couple places. Perfect. Awesome. Okay. And then it looks like I see Wayne Anderson. So Wayne's on here with us. He can see us fine. If you are hopping on, let us know you're here with us. Give us that thumbs up, comment, give us a shout out so we can give you some love as well. Thanks for that like, Wayne. Appreciate that. And Jerry Lynn, thank you for hopping on with us. Well, good morning, everyone. And thank you so much for tuning in to our Tuesday morning broadcast. I am excited for today's presentation, if you can't tell. But before we go into detail on it, I like to give you some housekeeping. So make sure you hit that like button, the notification button at the top of this page, so you can get our updates timely when we post things out. Make sure you also are following us on all of our platforms. We're on Instagram and Twitter at Westy Chamber, and also on YouTube, where this is currently being aired, Westminster Chamber. And actually, here's a fun fact. If you go to our YouTube channel, you'll find the homepage video that was created about 2.5, maybe 3 years ago, features our speaker today. So you'll be able to kind of comment and share, oh, I know a little bit more about Kristen, and we'd love to see your comments on that video as well. So we are live on all social media platforms. Make sure that you're tweeting with us, following us, connecting, so you can get as much resources on hand. If during this broadcast you have questions or comments that come to mind, please type them into the comment section of this broadcast, and we'll probably display it below. So as you can see, Wayne's already beat everybody in being the first one that's shared a good morning and hello to both myself and Kristen. I know he made a typo. He did not mean to call me Julie. It's Juliet, President and CEO of the Westminster Chamber of Commerce. So good morning to you as well, Wayne. So today's topic, as you are aware, we really started these videos way back in March, and they were designed to help our businesses react to COVID, figure out what they can do to still stay in business. All those videos are available here on the Facebook page under the video section, and they're also available on our COVID resource hub on our website, westminsterchamber.biz. Now that we've transitioned into the rephase, we then introduced topics that we were hearing from our reopening surveys. And thank you to Ed Judd and several of our other ambassadors that took the time to make those phone calls and connect with our businesses to figure out who was open, who was going to open, and what they might face. And based on that, that's really where we were bringing in the content of legality to insurance and product liabilities and how to prepare for your business and things like that. We're now taking a different turn. Really, our effort is focused on supporting our businesses holistically and raising that consumer confidence. And to do that, we've started featuring our nonprofit corner and business success stories of businesses that are open, how you can support them, and different types of industry that they're in. Last week, we featured Walmart and Kokapelli, and this week we have GQ Barbecue on Thursday for you as well. So that already makes me hungry. I probably shouldn't have mentioned that at 11 o'clock. But without further ado, I promised Kristen that she'd have time to talk, so I need to zip it. But our topic today is networking in the age of COVID, or networking online. It is incredibly important that we're still connecting with people, that we're still driving business, and how can we do that in the best way that we can? And I could not think of anybody better than our board director, Kristen Judd. Kristen is the owner of Five Rings Financial and is a successful entrepreneur. She is involved in a myriad of things across the city and is just a dynamite. So I am so glad to have Kristen with us. Again, if you have questions or comments about any of what she shares, please type them in. I'll go ahead and mute myself. Kristen, it is yours to take away.
Awesome. So we've been working from home since March, I think 15th, somewhere around there. And, had to move pretty quickly in limiting our face-to-face, obviously, because we had just gotten back from Europe. But one of the things that a lot of business owners needed to figure out is, how can I continue doing business? How can I also, there's also this piece of how can I stay top of mind? So there's a couple of pieces to what we ended up doing, and how we even helped other business owners that we worked with really keep their business going. So one of the businesses that we worked with and helped them was a driving school, because they all of a sudden, no kids in class, all that stuff, couldn't have any of that. And so, a lot of us moved over into this Zoom technique, this new Zoom platform. We've been using it for probably five years or so for client appointments, even meetings or presentations, just to make it easy. But teaching people how to use different kinds of platforms online so that they can continue doing business. There's lots of different platforms out there. I think some people are still using Google Meet, or whatever that's called. I don't know what it's called. Yeah. And to create this same feeling of belly to belly, knees to knees environment, even though we currently are not. So one of the things you have to understand is that our brain can't tell the difference between us being face to face versus over online, over video. Our brain can't tell the difference. So that's kind of the good part. We are reaching this point, though, I believe at this point, where it's called Zoom fatigue, where I was so worried about not having enough human contact that from morning to evening, I was on Zoom. And because I wanted to still have that human connection, because I'm an extrovert, there were a lot of introverts out there that were just like, oh my God, this is awesome, right? And I'm like one of those that's like, no, I don't know. It was very, very hard for someone like me who's used to being in and out of the house all the time, and going and meeting people and meeting with clients. And now it's all, nope, you're just going to stay home. I don't think I got out of my jammies for the first week. They walked around by themselves because I was a little bit depressed, I think, right? So
yeah.
So it's really kind of monitoring that piece of that. And so it's harder a little bit for the brick and mortar businesses to do this. So how can you really leverage the social media platforms in order to create some connection? One, I like using social media. I really excel on the Facebook platform more so than any other, because I feel like there's just more people who connect with me, right? And at my age, they get it. They're on it. So one of the things that happened when COVID happened, the state shut down, is that everybody got on social media, right? They were on it more often than usual. And so it was a great way to build relationship with people online, and to ask questions, and to be of service, and to support other businesses, and help them keep going on. It's kind of it was crazy. Let's just put that. This whole event is very crazy, because it's hard to know. It changed so fast. Every day was a new idea, a new rule. We have to change this, and really kind of monitoring that piece of it. So one, doing online, you have to be pretty mindful of how much you're online, right? How many Zoom appointments that you're going to have. Because I don't think doing back to back to back to back to back, which is what I did for probably maybe 2.5 weeks, is not a good idea. I would say you would definitely want to break that up and make sure that you're able to get up and go to the bathroom, and you can get food, and you can get drink, and put some movement into your day, because that way you can limit that Zoom fatigue piece. You actually have to put it in your calendar, because I know I set up Calendly so that people could just book time with me, and if I didn't put it on my calendar, I could be booked, like solid, straight. So so making sure that piece is available, but I don't know, the some strategies. Let's talk about strategies. Because there are some really cool little hacks that I do for that social media process to make it so that I'm not on it. Because I don't want to be on it necessarily all the time, but it looks like I might be. And so there are some really cool little hacks. I went probably maybe close to 3 years ago. I went to a website called Upwork.com. And I put out a job posting for someone who could manage my Facebook, my LinkedIn, my Instagram, whatever else I wanted her to do. She could create my images and manage all of that, create my events, because I have events on a regular basis. And she would build them, promote them, follow up on them, do all of that stuff that I didn't want to do anymore. And so you can go on there and find someone to do that for you. My little gal, she ends up being in another country, and she does a fabulous job. So a lot of people don't know that she does all of that stuff for me, but it just frees up that time where you can still maintain and build that notoriety, because part of the social media piece of it is being consistent and really kind of having a plan. I actually plan out an entire year's worth of not necessarily full on content, but like each month has a specific theme. And you can guess based on whatever that month is. Like February, it's the month of love, right? Because we have Valentine's Day. And so we just build out content and hashtags and all of that so that it just goes to all of my networks, whether it's LinkedIn, Instagram, or Facebook. I spend a little bit more time on Facebook building relationship that way, and just kind of trying a whole bunch of stuff. We do lives, we do what is it called? Like longer posts where you actually have content and you're telling a story. So some story content and really promoting our events. We did switch everything to a full, you might want to do this too. Here's another thing that I do is I go through, I set up Google alerts to find content for me. So I don't have to do any searching. So if you wanted to find different articles to promote your business or to validate what you're doing, written by other people, I'm pretty specific about what my little gal is able to use. She always checks with me, is this a good article? Would I use this? Because I don't want to be promoting other people who do what I do. But I'll find some other content that validates what I do. So that's another good one. So an email comes to from Google on different topics once a week, and I just send it to her so that she can do that. So that's another little hack of being able to streamline some of your efforts and work as far as getting content and creating content for the social media networks. Let's see, what else do I do? I'm just pretty consistent and really built out an entire year's worth of either events. So I do this at the end of December, beginning of January. I build out my entire calendar of what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, and have just been able to switch everything to go online. So we were using the Zoom platform for live events, and I still do for Wine Women in Wealth. And last month I tried out, didn't know how it was going to work out, but I did a blend where we were able to have 10 people live and then everyone else join us via Zoom. So just kind of playing around with different things. You can find ways to still connect with individuals. Finding people that you like to follow and comment on their stuff also helps. and really, we kind of have finding people to comment on your stuff as well. So there's that part too. I don't know, what questions do you think you might have, Juliet?
So can you hear me, Kristen?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I was getting like this alert that like my mic was disconnected. I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, so quickly just want to give a shout out to several folks that are with us. State Representative Tracy Kraft-Tharp, hello to you and good morning. Councillor Seymour, Jason Gank, Parker Brown, and it looks like, oh my gosh, Pars's brother's on here as well. So hello to everybody that's on here. Wow. One of the questions that I want to throw your way, and if you're just now hopping on, we have Kristen Judd with us. Kristen is a dynamic entrepreneur. She has grown her business 6 figures, and she runs it like it is her, masterpiece. And so a lot of what she is sharing is how she is running her business, has run it, and continues to, even during the situation that we're in. So we touched on a variety of things. The first being, the overwhelm that's out there from a lot of the meetings that we have, and looking at breaking up those meetings so that you're not constantly having the fatigue that might be there. Scheduling being an important component of your business, especially right now. If you can schedule your meetings, if you're a business and professional type service, or even if you're like a full, service restaurant or things like that, trying to schedule around what you have in the day, breaks, time for that mindfulness, and really being able to digest what you're picking up so you're not in a situation of overload and stress and don't know what to deal with or handle. She also shared a couple of different tips on who she's leveraged, from freelance positions that are available through Upwork to, the calendar app that she's just now starting to utilize, which I do have like side comment I would like to talk to you about. But anyways, several other of things that you can be doing to implement in your business. We have a random question, but I'm going to go ahead and display it on here. So if you're hopping on,
yes.
Where was it from?
So I'd love to shout out this local business. It's 2020 iVenue, Marcella Neverman. One, I absolutely adore her, but she has the best selection of glasses, and she's amazing. So
they are great. Yes. And generally they participate in our We Love Westy sweepstakes. So around the, November, December timeline, if you are looking for new glasses, make sure that you support them. And then you might have a chance at $5,000 in cash too. So there's that plugin that's there. But if you have any questions or comments, we'll display them clearly. We display any comments that we're getting. So type them in so we can have a moment to address that with Kristen. So Kristen, one of the things that we're seeing, and this is, networking is still a huge component of how to grow your business. Word of mouth is still the number one way that business is generated, outside of even online marketing that's there, guerrilla marketing efforts that you might have, or even investing in large scale advertising. And that's why, a strong component of the programs or events that we always host, they are connected to our mission as an organization that strengthens business, community, and tourism. But there's always a component of it that's designed for networking and for building that one-on-one growth. So being an extrovert, you know that it's not the same hopping onto a webinar or hopping onto, it looks like a virtual happy hour to be able to connect with people. So what have you been able to do, whether it's siphoning off folks and trying for those private conversations, or how have you handled still growing your network without physically being able to meet with those people?
Yeah, so it's a different kind of feel, all of that kind of stuff, as far as being able to feel the energy of a room versus when you come in and you can feel the people and you can feel, their vibe. But, anytime that you can have some interaction, you just have to be more intentional, is what I have found. And so whenever I go to an online networking group, whether it be, through the chamber, through another networking group or whatever, is that, I set up, hey, I'm going to connect with, 2, 3, whatever, however many people afterwards, and just build that relationship. And I really keep it very, casual as far as what they feel comfortable with, because there's that component as well. So would they like to do a Zoom call? Would they rather do a phone call? I'm finding more and more people are even more open to just having a phone conversation versus let's do another meeting over Zoom, right? So I've done walking connects with individuals as well, which was great because it got me out and I was moving, and we were still on Zoom, and we're able to do that. And for those people that are open to it at this stage of the game, you know, we can do a face to face. And you just be mindful of, whatever they're comfortable with as far as that. And I'm pretty open about, where I kind of feel comfortable on my end as well. So, but I think the intentionality has to be there, and being open and more flexible as to how you're going to build a relationship with them.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's so important, is being able to be flexible to what everyone else feels most comfortable, because there are different phases. There are still people that don't want to go out. I was texting my sister and I was like, how's everything opening back up east? She's in New York, and she responds, she's like, you'd be crazy to go out right now. And so she has like hibernated herself and her children, but there are others that still are going out more frequently, right? And so it just kind of depends on who you've connected with and their comfort level. And so I did love that you're still translating that networking tip of, who do you want to connect with? How many are you looking for? It's definitely about the quality, not necessarily the quantity that you can come out of any interaction with. So I thought that was an excellent suggestion that was there. And then obviously about connecting on Zoom and going out and doing a walk and connect. That's cute. So we touched a little bit about this whenever you started sharing, comment on influencers or people that you're interested in, and try and connect with them, maybe follow them and comment on their pages. What other ways have you found to build a really good business list for you? So if you're thinking of, building for your business and identifying key players that might complement your line of work, how have you approached that? And it sounds almost like a target strategy, but it kind of is, to try and select, who do you want in your wheelhouse so that you guys can move forward together. So how are you able to build or identify what that list is, but then try and execute that? And is it a matter of, I found Kristen, I see what she's posting, let me follow her, let me like everything that she's doing and crazily comment? Or does it take a little bit more finesse than that?
Well, I've been of the fake it till you make it kind of. This has been a total like learning thing and trying different things all the time. And when I started doing this, and I'm always adjusting because things change all the time online, right? New rules, new algorithms, blah, 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 yada, 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 whatever. And just kind of understanding which platform you're on and what that looks like. So, I'm always wanting to connect with really amazing local influencers, right? People that are really well known in the community, doing stuff, active, and I always want to build a relationship with them. And so I always continue to touch base with them as well. And it's really finding also really great people. So I like to find really amazing people who can help my clients. That's one of the places that I'm always looking for, is really amazing people who, one, will make me look good, two, will take really excellent care of my clients as far as what I need them, to help. Because really, it's when you talk about building a business, it's those that serve the most get to make the most money. And really, this space, so you talk about serving a community. Westminster Chamber does that. We're serving the community and have done. And by the way, I feel like you and everybody else has done an amazing job of serving, especially the business community, and being able to, how can we help? How can we support? How can we, really help? Because there's no doubt about it that this event, don't know when we're going to come out of it, and what it's going to do to this business community. And so I think that's really what we're looking for, is how can we serve, how can we give back, and do it in a way that's either entertaining right? Causes some laughter. We could use a little bit more
Yes.
laughter these days, right? But also really good information and solid information. Not there's just been a lot of incongruence.
Mhm.
We talk about information when it
Right.
comes to this event, right? And so it's been really hard to sift through this stuff. And I think if, the biggest part of what we have tried to do is just make sure we were helping other people and holding them up and holding space for people to come and and be whatever they needed to be at that moment, right? Because I've definitely had those moments where one minute I felt really great, and then someone would ask me a question and I'd start crying because I'm like, what the heck?
Right.
Like the emotions were crazy.
Yeah.
And they're probably still pretty raw, pretty triggering. And, I keep it pretty even keel. Don't try and get into any of that stuff. So
Yeah.
there's like some rules, right? With the social piece of it is
Mhm.
no politics, no food pictures unless you have a restaurant, just kidding. But
But yeah, it's being mindful. So you're being mindful of the situation that you're in, and I think what you're also doing is making sure that what you're posting out and what you're sharing aligns with how you're able to help people best. So you're not just randomly posting things or information, sharing articles that aren't connected to you or that you might not have the answer to. And I loved what you said about, you're surrounding yourself and how you're building your list is looking at, where can I find those key players that can provide additional support to the people that I'm already serving? And that's exactly, that's what we do in Chamber. Thank you for the kudos that you gave earlier. I can't take all of that credit. It really goes back to the whole organization, because that is a key strategy of what we do, is align the businesses together, business owners and professionals, trying to find those key quality people that want to be a part of a bigger picture, that want to move business forward in Westminster. And really, it is that sense of family and giving more than you're getting. It goes back in numerous ways. And so I loved that you shared that. So there is one. So we talk about different platforms. You talked about Google and using those for alerts that you can leverage articles that you find to be quality that connect back to your brand and what you offer, and that you use primarily Facebook for your communication and everything as far as business generating and things like that. So two questions in one, and then I'll see if anybody posts anything, and then we'll round out. Looks like we have board chair Brian Dice with us. Thank you for having on here with us. So my first question is, are you using email marketing to communicate to your customers right now? And then a secondary question that I have is, when we're seeing all these opportunities for meetups, right? And so we select that we're going to do 2 today, and we're focused on finding this many people that are in this line of work, because that's who we would like to complement the services that we already do. How do you vet the type of events or programs that are out there? With Chamber, obviously you see us and you're like, that's going to be an awesome event. I have to be at it, right? You already know we're going to get you some great people. They're going to be local contacts and professionals, and they're going to help re-energize you. If it's people that they'll have connected with other people that can, again, it's that 6th degree of separation that's there. So knowing that Chamber doesn't fall into this category, those other events and programs that are out there, and I know that you're involved with so many other, you yield your time on boards and different groups. How are you able to kind of pick that apart and seeing, is this going to be a quality one that I can be at, or am I going to hop on there and in 10 minutes pop off and they see, Juliet's left the room?
Yeah. So, I would say this is one of those learned skills of being able to either vet a group before you have to go or need to go and check it out, or, because I've been networking for a very long time, and you get very accustomed. You just kind of start finding what you're looking for, and a lot of what I personally look for is not only, sometimes I want to walk away with a takeaway. I want to be like fed a little bit. as far as, can I learn something? Can I gain something? Can I walk away with maybe another marketing idea for our business, or, something? I want to walk away with something, right? But I also want to make sure that whoever I get to spend time with, whether it's an hour or 2 hours or however long the event is, that I'm finding quality, good people there.
Mhm.
And I'd like to find, obviously you want to meet new people as well, as finding that space where can I find new people to then build a relationship and see if there's some way we can support each other, collaborate, whatever. And so I've always included some kind of female focused networking group because of Wine Women and Wealth. And so I have a couple of those that I like to go to. And obviously the Westminster Chamber, I've been a part of the Westminster Chamber, 5, 6
For Sensory
years.
Perception, I want to say, yeah.
Yeah. I don't even remember how, it's been a while. And then, I test out groups every once in a while based on recommendation. I will look at that piece as well, depending on who's recommending it to me. I will be like, oh yeah, I'll check that out. And so, it's just finding that space, right? Depending on what you are. So if you're a B2B person, you probably need to go find a B2B networking group where you can all collaborate and find the same kinds of groups. But if B2C, there's a ton of them on there. I do find quite a few. I mean, Meetup used to be a really great platform to find places. I don't know anymore. And top 3 online networking sites.
And I think that you're walking into this question. That's why I went ahead and displayed it.
Yeah. So, Meetup is a good place to find. I know people have found stuff on Eventbrite, but I actually find a ton of stuff on Facebook and look at events there. I always, find someone that you really admire or that is doing really well. And I would ask them what they're doing. Like, what groups are you going to? How, can I be a part of that? And I know I always am willing to share with people some ideas, some places of, where people could connect and it would be a great fit. So that's always a really great place to do. But those are like big ones. I mean, Meetup, yes, I have mixed feelings about Meetup. Whatever. I mean, I promote on it, but I don't know, like we promote events down south and they do great, but up north it's very different. It's so weird.
So it depends on the market. That's a huge part of which sites are working is, and that's actually really great because I know Joni is very spread out. She has statewide coverage and then she has different county. So different sites might complement some targets that you're trying to hit. And then just kind of depends on the audience that's using those platforms as well. So I know we've gone a little bit over on time. Kristen, I typed in Kristen, 5 Rings Financial. How can people find you? They know that you're my board director now, so they'll likely reach out to us and I'll be sure to pass them along your way. But if they wanted to touch base with you one-on-one, how can they do that?
So you can always find me on Facebook, LinkedIn. You can email me at Kristen@5ringsfinancial.com. You can call me or text me 303-944-6195. We are also on Google. Let's see, Money Secrets, a division of 5 Rings Financial. So you can find us there. I mean, I try and be everywhere.
Yeah.
That's what I've tried to do, is like be everywhere all the time.
She's on all social platforms. You can find her on her website as well. There's her email, her phone number. I've included all of that in the comment section of this broadcast. If you end up watching this broadcast on replay, give us that hashtag replay so we know that you liked it, enjoyed it, and took something out of this. We will be back here again tomorrow at 11 a.m. And tomorrow, my guest is Jeff Wasden. You guys probably know Jeff. He is heavily connected here in Colorado, led the Colorado Business Roundtable, and has since departed us and our loss was DC's gain. So he is actually my boots on the ground federally, and he will be back here with us at 11 a.m. to give us some insight on projects that are up at the federal level, things that he's been involved in that we should be aware of and glean. So if you are interested in federal issues and how to get connected, come with us tomorrow at 11 a.m. If you have questions for Kristen, DM us, comment on this broadcast, or connect directly with Kristen as well. Thank you to all of you that have taken time to be here with us, that did not take an early 4th of July. We've got a busy week planned, and it is going to be exciting. Every one of our broadcasts is better than the next. And so I hope you find a lot of it of value into next week. If you have any questions, let us know. Thank you to all of you that are tuned in, and to you, Kristen, for spending the morning with us. Have a terrific day.
Absolutely.